Good morning, kids. It is good to be with you again. So, last week I talked about how the key word for this week would be quiet, right? And why are we talking about silence? Why is that the word for today? Well, today's story is about the 400 years of silence. But whose silence? Do you think the people were quiet for 400 years? There was no talking anywhere on earth for 400 years? No, it wasn't the people's silence. But then whose silence was it? It was God's silence. There were no more prophets, no special messengers, nothing like that. No word from God to the people for 400 years. That's a long time. Now, who out there, raise your hand if this is you, who out there has their parents put a few of their presents under the tree before Christmas morning? Right? Whose parents put presents under the tree before Christmas morning? So if that's you, you know what it's like. You see the present under there, you're like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But you gotta wait. You can't open it early. You gotta wait. And waiting is hard. But this story is perfect for this time of year because we are now in Advent, right? And Advent is the period of time leading up to Christmas where we wait and we prepare our hearts for Christmas. We wait and we prepare our hearts for Christmas. And waiting is really hard, right? When you see that present and you know you gotta wait, that's hard. And you only have to wait just a few days, right? Maybe a couple weeks. Imagine Israel waited 400 years to hear from God. That's a long, long time. And it's been even longer than that. If you remember, all the way back to the beginning, when we first started going through the Bible story by story, we talked about how God made a promise to Adam and Eve that one day, one of Eve's descendants would crush the serpent's head, right? And God promised over and over, I am going to make a rescue plan for you. I'm going to save all of my people. And we've been waiting for that and waiting and waiting and waiting, right? Waiting is very hard. And so the people had to wait 400 years. Do you think some of the people might have given up and thought nothing was going to happen? Probably. Do you think some of the people stopped believing? Maybe. Because being patient and waiting is hard, right? Besides Christmas presents, what is something you have had to wait for before, right? Whether it's food at a restaurant, it could be lots of different things. Waiting is hard. And so these people had to wait 400 years. But at the end of the 400 years, something really, really amazing is going to happen. But that's for next week. This week, what I want you to think about as Christmas is getting closer, as we're in Advent, I want you to think about, can I be patient, right? Can I practice my patience? Can I practice good waiting? Remembering all the while how the Israelites had to wait 400 years for their good news, right? So that's the 400 years of silence. Next week is going to be really good. We're transitioning, we are moving into the New Testament next week. It's very exciting. So that is it for the 400 years of silence. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great first week of Advent, and I will talk with you soon. Bye-bye.